Quiet. Or mute yourself for now.
What? As long as Amazon doesn't show. Yes. Aces, twos is right before dice.
Twos, aces, dice. I can't hear him.
Hmm?
I can't hear him.
Can't hear him. He's muted.
He's muted for me. Maybe not for the.
Has the show started yet? Just be ready. Don't change any settings.
All right, everyone. I'm going to start over from the top. So let's see. We have how many people watching our show right now? I got a better setup this evening. So last night was very interesting. We had a power failure locally here at the haunted library, over 100 feet below the Lord Baltimore Hotel. My name is Vince Wilson, by the way, and I am your host this evening. What an amazing evening last night. The Pose magic players, did some wonderful magic. These are local magicians who've been involved in Pose magic for over a year now. And then we had Peter Samelson, and then Randy Shine, and then Paul Prater, some of the most amazing storytelling magicians I know. And I am very jealous of Mr. Samelson's video set up, to be perfectly honest with you. I hope you'll go back and review that video. The video will be uploaded soon. It will include Dan Eckert doing some psychic entertainment. You have to decide for yourself if he reads minds or talks to ghosts. That's up to you to decide. He'll be included in that video when it uploads at some point in the very near future. Now, tonight, we're going to have some new names and some names who performed with us before. I am very excited about this lineup. And hopefully Joan DuKore, who's about to come up, will be performing in July next month. Cross your fingers and hope for the best. But without further ado, I want to get this party started, everyone. Our next performer hails from a little-known town called Las Vegas. You might have seen her at the Magic Castle, the Chicago Magic Lounge, or House of Cards in Nashville. Sound familiar? She was a regular performer at Caesar's Magical Empire and at the Venetian Hotel and Casino. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Joan DuKore. Joan, you're up and live and ready to go.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Joan DuKore, and I'm a magician, which accounts for some of the sequence. And I live in Las Vegas, which accounts for the rest of the sequence. I'm originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, which accounts for the tan. And I live in Las Vegas now. When I first moved here, it was very difficult for me to get a job performing right away. My first job here was actually at Denny's. And it was really depressing because people would come in and tell me these gambling stories that were horrible about how they lost their car, their house, their wife. No one had any good gambling stories because, let's face it, those don't end up at Denny's. But I thought, well, while I'm here, I should tell you guys a gambling story. And mine is going to be so much better because I made it up. There was a guy whose name was Joe who wasn't very bright. 'Twas gambling he loved so much it gave him great delight. But since Joe was a simple man with quite a few loose screws, while playing cards with other men, he was inclined to lose. This wasn't until he met a man who was known to lie and cheat. He taught Joe things that he could do so he could not be beat. Joe then went home and marked some cards within these tiny spaces. But Joe, he being not too bright, marked twos and not the aces. Joe then went off to show his skill to all the guys in town. He made a bet that 4 of a kind could easily be found. The guys all bet with happy haste. There was money on the line. Joe cut the cards, and when he did, the 2 came out just fine. The guys, they looked with skeptic eyes. It was only just a 2. But then out came the second one, too lucky to be true. Worried, though he'd practiced hard, his luck could still run out. Joe flipped the cards so he could see if his 2s were still about. The third one came with fancy hands. He flipped them 1, 2, 3, and calmly showed the card and smiled, happy as can be. He never wins, the guys, they thought. How is he doing this? The fourth one came with a snappity pop. Joe said, I never miss. Now the guys all took their money back. He'd cheated, so they said. You see, Joe marked the cards in blue, while the deck was all pure red. Thank you. 4 of a kind. Magicians just love finding 4 of a kind. Now, that's one way to do it. Here's another. Thank you. Now, I always like to ask, are there any magicians out there this evening, afternoon, morning, depending on where you are? They walk among us, you know. They're like Canadians. Sometimes there's Canadian magicians, unidentifiable. Now, I always like to ask because oftentimes when magicians show other magicians tricks, it can get kind of boring. I mean, we know all the tricks. We know all the secret moves, the sleights. We know where the trapdoors are hidden. We've all signed our name in blood with the devil. So sometimes it's more fun to show a feat of skill. So if I were to take these aces and place them on top of the deck, not much skill in finding them because they are in fact on top of the deck. However, if I were to take those aces and actually shuffle them inside, well, that would make my job a whole lot more difficult. But some of you might be saying, hey, she's doing one of those magician shuffles. The aces are still on top of the deck. I mean, they're not, but they could have been. So we're going to do the most thorough shuffle you can do with a deck of cards. It's called a Pharaoh shuffle, and it actually interweaves the cards 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, just like that. I'm going to put that up to the camera a little bit so you can kind of see right there. You can see them going in together, truly meshing, truly shuffling. Now, once I have done this, I have no power here. All I can do is estimation. Now, the first ace should be right about there. Ace number 1. Now, if I had cut one more card, total disaster. 1 down, 3 to go. Here we go. Ace number 2. Right about there. Now, as this goes on and on, this gets more and more difficult because now the luck factor is really decreasing. So we have ace number 3, right about there. Now this is getting really hard. I don't know if I even trust myself to get the last ace. I mean, it's so hard. Vince, maybe you could help me out by getting someone to help me. Would that be possible? Maybe?
Yes, give me just a second.
All right.
We have Stephanie and Sean in the room. How many volunteers do you need?
I just need one for now. Who's feeling lucky, Stephanie or Sean?
All right, bringing Sean in. Sean, can you hear me?
Hello, Sean.
Yes, give me just a second.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Where am I talking to you at? I just need one for now. Who's feeling lucky, Stephanie or Sean?
Sean, can you turn off YouTube for now or mute it?
Sure, hold on 1 second.
Sean, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can only take so much of the sound of my own voice.
How's that?
There we go. Sean, where are you at right now?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. All right, I'm going to explain to you that I think that the ace is not too close to the bottom, not too close to the top. I think it's somewhere closer to the center. So if you could, can you give me a number, let's say between 10 and 20? And say it.
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Is this a lucky number?
Not really, just first one that came to mind.
Great, my first time at the Poe Theater and I get a random number. It's gonna be good for my reputation here. Okay, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You said 16?
Yes, I did.
Oh, thank goodness. Sean, do you gamble?
Not really.
You should. That was really good. Thank you so much, Sean. And a virtual applause for Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of times when I do shows here in Las Vegas, I ask, if people are gamblers. And everyone says, yes, I love gambling. I love gambling. I love gambling. And then I ask in other cities, hey, who gambles? And everyone's like, well, I go to the Indian casino at my lunch break, but don't tell my boss. I mean, it's very different. Now, most people think gambling is just all about cards, but sometimes it's about dice. And I'm going to teach you a real fun fact about dice. I love fun facts. The opposite sides of all dice add up to 7. So if you can see, opposite of the 6 is the 1. We have the 5 is the 2. The 4 is the 3. All add up to 7. Now, this is true on all dice all over. So if you're at your house, you can check, not now, but after the show, you can check Monopoly, Backgammon, Yahtzee. They all add up to 7. Pretty much anything except Dungeons and Dragons. Now, if you have 2 dice and you put them together, the opposite sides are going to add up to 14 because 7 and 7 is
14.
14. Yes. For those that get it, I am so relieved because here's the thing. I live in Nevada and we are 51st in the nation in education. So don't often get the right number for that. But if you have 11, you got to have 3 because 11 and 3 is
14.
very good. So be careful. Never have 11 on one side and then 11 on the other because that's 22. It needs to be 3 because that's the rules of the dice. Now, it doesn't work conversely either. You can't have 3 and 3 because that would be 6. You need 11 to make 14. Now, we're going to make the numbers just a little bit simpler to confuse you just a little bit more. So we have 5 and 5 is 10. 2 and 2 is 4. Together they make
14.
Yes. Now, those spots or pips, as we call them in the biz, they're actually drilled into most dice. So I can't just move a spot over and make it 6 and 4, right? 6 and 4 doesn't work with 2 and 2. 2 and 2 only works with 5 and 5. It's okay. We're going to go simpler. We'll go simpler. 2 and 2 makes 4. What's another way to make 4 besides 2 and 2?
3 and 1.
What? Did you say 3 and 1? But see, 3 and 1 only works with 6 and 4. It doesn't work with 2 and 2. Now, some people think because the hand is quicker than the eye. They go, I don't know what you're doing, but I know you're doing something. So I'm going to do this next part very, very slowly just for you. And you know, I don't do that for just any audience. We have 6 and 3 is 9. We have 4 and 1 is 5. And I want you to make note of where that 1 is on your screen. Okay, right there. Make note of where the 1 is. I'm going to go back and just, and then I'm going to go very slowly, very slowly, very slowly, very slowly. Now where's that 1? But you got to watch because a little bit of a shake, it jumps right back. Now this actually got me into trouble once because I used to be in a show at the Fitzgerald's downtown, and now it's called the D. I don't know why, but I was walking through and one of the crap stealers said, hey, you're the magician, show me a trick. So I said, sure. And I picked up the dice off the table. Mistake number 1, I was new. Mistake number 2 then was when I showed him that I had 1 on one side, then I had 2, 3, then I had 4, 5, and then I had 6. And that's when they called security. Now, as a magician, I get asked the same questions over and over and over again. I get asked, how did you get started in magic? And people are real disappointed when I say my dad bought me a magic trick. I mean, I think they're expecting an owl or something. I also get asked, Joan, is that a stage name? And I reply to that, if I could pick any name in the world, what could be more magical than Joan? Also, I get asked, what is your favorite magic trick? And I'll tell you what, that one is easy because that's the one I love to close my show with. Now, Sean, do I still have you on mic?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to have you help me with this next one too, since you're already there and we had such a connection with the 16. I'm going to put some cards underneath this card box and we're not going to look at them until it's time. Now, next, Sean, I'm going to have you pick a card, any card. Now, obviously, we are virtual, so we can't do this the normal way. So I am going to actually run my finger down the cards and you're going to stop me. But you're going to stop me by saying a magic word. Now, don't pick abracadabra or hocus pocus because you know what? They've been done. Instead, I want you to pick your very own 1-syllable, easy to remember word. Got it? Good. Here we go.
Gotcha.
Okay. I made it through the deck. I'm going to try to go a little slower.
Okay.
Nice, simple, easy to remember word. Here we go.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Oh, very good.
That worked.
Ta-da. Now, we stopped right here. I do not want to look at the card because that would be cheating. I'm not going to show it to you either because once I show it to the camera, I can see it right on my screen and that would be cheating. So instead, I'm going to place the card inside the card box for safekeeping. So I don't know what the card is. You don't know what the card is. None of the virtual people watching know what the card is, but the cards, they know. Oh yes, it's like calling the Psychic Friends hotline and no less fake. They can sense which one is missing. Oh, and I'm already getting a feeling right over here that your card is probably not a red card. It's probably a black card. I'm getting a sense over here. It's probably not a face card. And I'm getting a sense over here that your card likes long walks on the beach. You'll have to take my word on that. I'm getting a sense right here that this card is the card mate to your card. Now, a lot of people don't know what a card mate is. It's okay, the mating habits of playing cards, they're very interesting, but it's the same color, same number, but different suit. So if I have the 9 of spades, the card mate would then be the 9 of clubs. So we're going to open this card box up right here, and I am going to show you the 9 of clubs. Now, let me explain something here. Magicians have been finding people's cards for hundreds of years. It's been done. This is not the coolest part of the trick. Oh no. Do you remember before I asked you anything at all, I put some cards under that card box. You remember that, Sean?
Yes.
And do you remember I asked you to come up with a magic word? And you said?
Ta-da.
Ta-da. All right, I want you to check this out. Ta-da!
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank
you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a fantastic time. You can follow me on the socials, Joan DuKore, my website, joandecoeur.com. See where I'm performing next. Have a good one.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Joan. I'm going to pop back in here. There we go. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I left my virtual assistant running. Let me get that out of the way. There we go. Now, everyone, thank you so much. Joan, that was absolutely amazing. I saw that in rehearsal the other day, and that is even better today. You only get absolutely better with every time you perform, and that was a beautiful performance. Thank you so much. That was absolutely wonderful. You were great. Yep. So now, here's the thing. All right, so I don't burn myself out in hosting duties today. We're going to take a break. The show will continue every hour on the hour until 8 o'clock tonight. Next up is Paul Draper, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am. Make sure I'm reading this correctly. All right. Everyone, tune in tonight in 36 minutes this afternoon, actually, for our next performer. Now, the lineup is in the description, so please check that out. And don't forget to volunteer, and I'll put you in the waiting room to be a great volunteer. Sean, you're awesome again. Thank you so much. And Stephanie, we'll get you next time. Joan, thank you again, and I can't wait to see you soon, hopefully in July. We will talk about that probably Tuesday after I recover from this incredibly busy weekend. All right? And without further ado, I'm going to put this show on hold, and we're going to come back with a ghost story and our next guest tonight. Now, don't forget, this is for charity. There's a description that has a link to Doctors Without Borders. Do not forget to give. If it's $1, if it's $5, $1,000, well, you would meet our cap that we put on it, but we would love to exceed that. Please give to that wonderful charity. It's a nonpartisan charity that helps thousands of people around the world. And basically, by not donating, well, you're going to hell. I mean, that's no other way to put it. If you believe in an afterlife, if you have faith in another side, that there are consequences for your actions or inactions, by not donating at least $1 to Doctors Without Borders, by watching the show, you have condemned your eternal soul to endless torment and suffering through boundless time and space. Yes, it is the regardless of what faith you believe in, that is the consequences of your actions or inactions with this evening. So please donate to Doctors Without Borders and save your soul. And since you cannot prove that I am wrong, is it worth taking the risk? My suggestion is go to that link right now and make a small donation to this wonderful cause that is helping thousands of people right now around the world. They are putting their lives in danger to save other people's lives. They are true heroes. Don't be a bad guy. Donate to Doctors Without Borders. Now, I'm going to put this show on hold, going into my remote control here. Everyone, we will see you soon in exactly 34 minutes. Soon I get this going. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you soon.
All right. Can you bring up you?
Christian Cagigal. All right. Why is that not letting me? Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Thank you, virtual host. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to give everyone a couple of minutes. Remember, there is a link in the description for Doctors Without Borders. There's also a link in the description for Pose Magic, and there's a link in the description for Christian Cagigal, who's about to come up. That's right, and Joan DuKore. So if you'd like to buy them a cup of coffee, I understand that Christian also likes, Danishes. When he goes into a Starbucks, that is like a smorgasbord to him. He saves all his pennies, all those pennies he doesn't give away in a coin routine or something like that, ends up at the Starbucks in the register at the end of the month. And he just goes to town on all those little pastries and croissants and things like that. And he can't afford to maintain that habit unless you donate on that PayPal link that he has. And I'm sure he'll mention it during his show. It's a PayPal me address. You can donate directly to him, but also donate to Doctors Without Borders. That's a wonderful cause. Christian also has another cause who will tell you about when he comes on. In the meantime, I'd like to bring your attention to a ghost story. I'll bring this up very quickly. So, as you can see, I'm here at the Haunted Library once again. Now, I'm sure I've mentioned this in the past. The Lord Baltimore Hotel, which is above me as we speak, is notoriously haunted, often making the top 10 list of most haunted hotels in the U.S. The three most haunted areas of the hotel are the 19th floor, the ballroom, and the speakeasy here. These rooms are notoriously haunted throughout the Lord Baltimore. It has this incredible reputation for ghosts. The hotel is 23 stories tall. It has an Art Deco build. The 19th floor is haunted by Molly, a little girl who met her end in an unfortunate way with her family during the Great Depression. The ballroom is where Molly's parents haunt. They're seen dancing there from time to time. That is on the 4th floor. And finally, on the lowest level, other than the basement, is the speakeasy, a hidden room in the Versailles room of the Lord Baltimore. Would you like to volunteer with me? I need a volunteer from the chat. I want to bring some in right now. As a matter of fact, Christian, if you don't mind, I'm going to let you volunteer, if that's all right. Because you don't know what I'm doing, do you? Hold on for just a moment. I'm going to ask you to unmute, please. All right. Christian, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. The 19th floor has a outdoor lounge. It is where the little girl Molly haunts. The ballroom has her parents, and the speakeasy, that is where you can hear the sounds of clinking glasses and light jazz music. I want you to look in deep into yourself. Do you feel a connection with any of these places? I don't think you've ever been to Lord Baltimore before, but
I have never been, no.
Did you feel a connection with any of these locales here?
I mean, the speakeasy feels like it's calling to me.
All right. So I made a little drawing of the Lord Baltimore here. I'm going to place this glass over a hat pin. Can you see the hat pin in the video?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So you're saying the speakeasy, correct?
Correct.
So let's take a look if you've gotten this correct, if you really have a connection. All right. the 19th floor. I don't see anything happening. Actually, let me move this over here. The ballroom. No? So you're saying you have a definitive connection with the speakeasy, that something is reaching out to you. Is that right? All right, let's see if this gets a reaction.
That was weird.
All right, Christian. I'm going to put the spotlight on you now. And when you do come to Lord Baltimore, our first stop, just to see what happens, will be the speakeasy.
That was weird. Thank you, Vince. A virtual round of applause for Vince, everybody.
Christian Cagigal splits his time between, so I almost forgot that part, between San Francisco and New York City. Pre-pandemic, he was a magician at Speakeasy Magic in New York City, hosted by Todd Robbins, who will be on later tonight. That's right. Co-producer of Odd Salon NYC, owner of the San Francisco Ghost Hunt, and co-founder of Fog City Magic Fest. My esteemed guests, YouTube viewers, welcome Christian Cagigal.
Hi, everybody. Again, another virtual round of applause for Vince, everybody. You do little clappy claps in the Zoom chat if you like. By the way, myself, I'm sure you've all noticed that myself, like lots of other magicians or speakers, I am doing these Zooms in front of what the media has called my shelf of credibility. This is to prove that I can read. It's really just a background. It's a background. It's a terrible background. It's a really terrible, but this is kind of distracting, isn't it? It's kind of just here. Let me take this background off. Much better. So who do we have in the audience? Sean, I've been watching you. You're just as famous as these magicians now, Sean. How you doing, Sean? Sean has been muted. Someone How you doing, Sean? You enjoying the shows?
Yes, I'm having a blast. Lord knows I needed something like this.
Oh, wait a sec. I did not successfully take there we go. Now the joke happened. I'm sorry. There was a joke with the background and it didn't actually work. But there we go. Technology got in the way of my punchline. Same place. In case you haven't, it's the same place. Sean, so what have you been, people have been having you engage and pick cards and whatever. Like, let's learn about you. What have you been doing during this crazy time where we're all been stuck at home?
Basically just been doing a lot of reading. Unfortunately, I was one of the few people that got laid off when everything kind of took a downturn. So
Yeah. Reading is good. What have you been reading?
I'm a huge fantasy fan, so I've actually been reading some of the old Dragonlance books.
Nice. Yeah, I know how you feel. My work was impacted heavily too, as all of us performers have been. So I've not been reading so much, Sean. I've been watching, like, binging TV. In the very beginning, I binged a lot, and I went to Star Trek and Twilight Zone, right? And I totally binged like Star Trek Discovery, the new one. Really good, totally worth binging. I don't know. Have you seen that one yet?
No,
John?
not yet.
I don't want to give it away. I'll just say there's kind of a theme of interdimensionality, if that's a word. If it's not, it is now. So I kind of went down like a whole click hole of multi-dimensions and that kind of thing. Let's try a little game out with this idea of other dimensions, the way things could be in another place that's just right here, right next to us somehow, right, John? I'm going to take this one card, give it a little half fold just like that. I'm going to try and put this right there to keep that mostly in view in the camera. I'm going to fold the other card in half the other way, just like that. So far looks good? So far looks fair, Sean?
Yep.
Place one inside the other. just like that. And here, let me show you the other side. But my friend who loves fantasy, if we just use our imaginations, find a different way to see things, and imagine a little hole in the fabric of time and space right there. We can take that one red king and turn him inside out. And outside in. You can even get him facing half one way and half the other. Here's a really crazy thing. You want to see what's going on the inside of here, right? Right? You're like, nah, show me what's going on there, Magic Man. I don't believe it. So here's the thing. Magic is rarely ever trapped in time, right? The bunny appears, the woman disappears, the coin comes out of my ear, but I want to see that moment where the magic was happening, right? We're going to freeze this moment of magic right about there. And open this up. And there you have, sorry, the red jack, frozen in time, facing half one way and half the other. And the really crazy thing, even in this dimension, the pieces still match. Crazy, Sean, right? Crazy.
That was awesome.
Flash pod, flash pod, flash pod. Chase lights. Thank you for sticking around, Sean. Do you mind if I keep you around till the end?
Sure.
Now, Mr. Vince Wilson, we're gonna need somebody else from the chat audience. Somebody from the chat audience, be a bold, brave soul. Raise your hand.
Stephanie as well.
Stephanie. Sure, bring Stephanie in.
I'm here.
Hi, Stephanie. Let's see. Can I see you? Or I'm gonna put you in. Oh, there's Stephanie. I got the grid view now. Hi. Oh, you're kind of famous on you're just as famous as Sean is.
Oh, no.
We are very grateful to have you here, Sean and Stephanie. Let me get to know you as well. So you live in Baltimore. Where do you live?
Currently, I live in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama. Okay. And Sean, you're in Florida, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like southern folks.
I'm all the way with the kooky folks out here in San Francisco, California, where I belong, in case you haven't noticed. But I get the feeling we are all brethren and sistren here in this grid of Zooms. Okay, we're gonna do some magic together. Game of imagination. You can do this next part with your eyes open or closed. Don't worry, no tricky things will happen during this part, okay? I understand that we can see you here, folks can't see you at home. And if you're following along at home, you can do this next part with us as well. Sean and Stephanie. Vince, I see you back there too. You could even do this next part too.
All right, fantastic.
Everyone, close your eyes. I'm gone. I'm kidding. But continue closing your eyes. Game of imagination. Imagine that with your eyes closed, you're not just sitting in your own living rooms. You're sitting in a theater, in a big, beautiful theater. And you're seated there with Sean. Sean is seated with Stephanie. Stephanie's seated next to me. We're all there together. Vince is there too. Other friends and family and loved ones are there. And you can imagine a little white line going from your right shoulder to whoever's sitting to the right of you. Another line from your left shoulder to the person going to the left of you. From your chest to the person in front, from your back to the person behind. And now imagine you could float up out of your body and see the whole scene below. Little white lines connecting you to every single person in this imaginary theater. And as you continue to float higher and higher into the air, you float up out of this theater, and you can see lines connect you to every single person on the street, the cars, the people, the trees, the children, the grandmas. And any one plunk or vibration on this web can be felt on all parts of this web. So maybe knowing what's about to happen next, or the thoughts of the Zoom right next to you, is a simple matter of just listening to your own. Everyone, you may open your eyes. Thank you for doing that. Vince, I'm going to ask you if you can mute your microphone.
All right.
Sean and Stephanie, I'm thinking of a playing card. You've dealt with playing cards this whole weekend already. I'm thinking of a playing card. You two are going to tell me what that card is. You're going to build it together. I'm going to give you a clue. It's not the Ace of Spades, and it's not the Joker. All right? And Stephanie's like, oh, I was going to think Ace of Spades. I can see on your face. All right, Sean. Do you believe the card that I'm thinking of is red or black?
Red.
Excellent choice. Do you think it is a heart or a diamond?
Diamond.
I love how you're like really wrestling over that choice, Sean. I appreciate your commitment to this. A red diamond. Stephanie, is it a number card or a court card?
Card.
Court card. And which court card might that be?
Jack.
The red Jack of diamonds. I hope the last piece of magic didn't influence that choice. Notice my sleeves are hiked up. My hands are otherwise empty. I took the rubber bands off. I pulled the cards out of the box. And out of all the cards that are facing you, only one is facing me. Is there any possible way you two could have known what card I had already turned over? No. The red Jack of diamonds. The red Jack of diamonds. Give yourselves a round of applause, Stephanie and Sean. Stephanie and Sean, that went so well, I'd like to keep you right here. Let's continue playing with this idea of time and mind and fate. Sean, if you had to choose, what do you believe in more? Luck, chance, or fate?
Fate.
Why fate?
Because I think there's more out there that like we don't comprehend, but there's something that's good for us, something going on that's, I think we're meant to be here for some reason, so it has to be fate.
I like you, Sean. I like you. Stephanie, luck, chance, or fate?
Chance. I'm gonna be the pessimist. Yeah.
You're a pessimist then?
No, not really, but yeah, chance.
You're like, stuff happens. You can't change it.
Oh, we just gotta go with the flow.
Going with the flow. That's good. That's good too. That's good too. Okay. Well, friends, here in my hands, I have a handful of luck or chance or fate. These are some ripped up playing cards. Show them to you this way. Now, I'm gonna do a little camera switch over here. Let's see if I can make this happen with my technology abilities. Bam! There we go. Thank you. And good night. That was all the magic. That was the fact that I pulled that off is a miracle. Now, let me just show these to you one more time. Sean, this is the order that I have them in from the last show. Sean, normally you'd be here with me doing this. But today, I will be your virtual hands. Sean, would you like me to shuffle these cards or not?
Yes, shuffle them.
Sean is very good at shuffling, as you can see.
Got a
Sean,
lot of practice.
right? Sean, would you like me to cut the cards or not?
No,
Stephanie, shuffle or not?
Shuffle.
Stephanie's been to Vegas.
Yes.
Cut or not?
Cut.
Excellent.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to pull two of these out. Excuse me, I'm going to try and not show you what those are quite yet. And each one of these two are going to be for you. Stephanie, this will be for you. And Sean, this will be for you. Let me look at your face one more time. Yeah, that one will be for you, Sean. All right. Now, Stephanie, I'm going to deal down through these cards for you one at a time. At this pace, at this speed. Whenever it feels right to you, whenever it feels good to you, whenever you want, just say stop.
Stop.
Good job. Sean, just like Stephanie, I'm going to deal down nice and slow. Whenever it feels good to you, just say stop.
stop.
A little sooner than last time. Interesting. All right. Okay. Let's recap. A bunch of choices have just been made. Choices that impact the condition that the cards are in right now. Stephanie, you chose to shuffle. Sean, you chose to shuffle. You chose to cut. You chose to not cut. Stephanie, you chose to cut. But we could take this a step further. Sean and Stephanie, you both chose to be here today. You've chosen to participate and support this project this whole weekend. Vince chose to put on this event. I chose to say yes. Vince could have said, I don't want to do magic anymore. I could have decided to become a ventriloquist when I was 12. There's so many choices that have led up to this moment that the cards are in right now. If one of us made a different choice before today, this would not be happening right now. If somebody made a different choice out in the world, none of this would be happening right now. Here we are, Sean and Stephanie. All these different life choices leading us up to this one little moment where Sean landed there and Stephanie landed there. Remember, something very different could be happening right now. But friends, this is what's happening right now. And it kind of makes you wonder, was it luck? Was it chance? Or was it fate? A virtual round of applause for Sean and Stephanie, everybody. Let me switch cameras. You two stick around still. Let me switch cameras. Bam, magic. That was great. Thank you both for doing that with us. Okay, let me just think for a second. I want to look you two over for a moment. Yes, I'm staring at two people that the rest of the world cannot see right now. Stephanie. I have something. Where did I have it over here. Little key we'll get to in a moment. I'll share that more later. Stephanie, so you're from Alabama, or you live in Alabama?
I live here now.
You live here. And may I ask where you're originally from?
Virginia.
Virginia? And what do you do in Alabama?
School.
School.
I'm a graduate student.
Oh, what are you gonna?
Biology.
Biology. Ooh, okay. Any particular field, discipline you're gonna go into?
Evolutionary biology, disease ecology. I don't know, something like that.
Fancy. Okay. And you're about to graduate this year?
Soon, yeah.
Soon. Okay. And then wide open door. We don't know exactly where. Yeah.
We don't know.
Okay. Stephanie, with that in mind, and I have this weirdly honest question to ask you in front of the world. Please answer as honestly as you feel comfortable. How's life?
It's okay.
I mean, given circumstances, right?
Different circumstances, sure. Yeah, it's good.
You're about to cross a threshold. It's a big unknown. Everything's a big unknown right now. And it feels like you're close. Like we're all really close to a breakthrough, right? A little unlock of a door, a push through a wall kind of a thing, right? Okay. You've heard of the name Houdini? Yes.
Of course.
Houdini was famous for escaping from chains and locks. Now I'm gonna upset some magicians right now. I'm gonna give you the secret to Houdini's magic. He had the key. Is it? Magic.
Magic.
I can't tell you how he had the key, but he always had the key with him to his own escapes.
Tons of steel.
This is going to be your key. This is going to be the key to your own escape. Let me switch cameras one more time. Magic. Stephanie, you're going to escape from that lock right there. This is very real, very secure lock that I have right here. I can see your name there, so I'm gonna put your name down right here. Stephanie. Now, Stephanie, you could say later on, he's got like a stack of these. He saw my name the whole time, right? So, I mean, there's not a stack of these.
Yeah.
Say Stephanie. But to really make this more unique, Stephanie, give me a simple little drawing I can put right there to really make this unique, so we all know this is yours.
You did like a stick figure horse.
Oh goodness. Okay, stick figure. Let's see.
It'll be real easy. Yeah.
Sure.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Belongs in a museum. That's going to have some value one day. Okay. And I'm sorry. Actually, let me do one more thing. I'm going to fold this up like that. Oh, we have more folks who've joined us. And today, what's today's date again? Today is June 6, 2020. There's my terrible chicken scratch handwriting. And I'm going to leave that right there in full view. Make sure I don't mess with that for the rest of this, all right? That's going to be the key you're going to use. Now, normally you'd be here with me. You'd be able to like touch this key, hold my hand. We're going to need some mood music for this. I'm going to place the key in my hand just like that. Trying to keep everything in frame here. We'll do this just to make sure everything's in frame. Now, Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to do something weird. On the screen, touch my hand. Thank you. Really commit to that. Take a deep breath, Stephanie. Out through your mouth. Once again, out through your mouth. And one more time. Here we go. As you continue breathing and focusing in on that door that you wish to unlock, continue touching my hand. And if you're a patient, stare at this key long enough, something might begin to happen. The craziest thing is, your lock that's been sitting here in front of you the whole time with June 6, 2020 is now open.
Oh. Oh.
Stephanie, if you want to contact myself or Vince in the chat and give an appropriate shipping address, I will be happy to send this to you so you can have this as a little
I
memento.
will frame that.
Thank you so much. A virtual round of applause for Stephanie, everybody. Hi. I have one last thing. I'm going to keep everybody there on the screen. I have a little bit of a guessing game. It's the guessing game is to guess what is inside this little folded up package. I wish to keep this in frame, but I want to make sure. Normally you get to hold this, touch it, feel it. I want to make sure you can hear what's inside. I'm going to put it over here to the microphone. All right, you just heard it. Sean, what do you think is inside this package?
A coin of some type.
A coin of some type. We have some new folks hiding here in the new folks, the lovely couple on the couch. Hi, yes, you. What are your names?
Hi,
What are your names?
Dave and Kathleen.
Dave and Kathleen. What do you think is inside this package?
Sounded like sand or rice to me.
Sand or rice? Yes. And Stephanie?
Oh. I have no clue.
No clue.
I have no clue. I wasn't paying attention to the rattle. Ooh. I mean, we've seen a lot of cards, but it's kind of the shape of a playing card. So.
What would be your greatest desire right now as a grad student?
Yes.
Huh?
Money.
Money. Anything else as a grad student you would really want?
A thesis.
A thesis.
Yeah,
After your
could you write
thesis,
that?
what would you want? A diploma. I have a diploma for you in here, Stephanie.
Woo.
Again, my sleeve is hiked up. My hand is empty. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out.
Wow.
This, my friends, is a little cup of the spirits. And I hope I raise your spirits this afternoon. Thank you very much to Dave and Kathleen and Stephanie and Vince and Sean. I'm going to shoot this back.
Thank you.
That was real. Everybody else watching, big thank you for watching this. Thank you to Vincent and Pose Magic Theater for coordinating this entire thing. I'm very honored to be here on this day with this roster of performers, a couple of them like being good friends of mine. So I'm very grateful to be here. And again, those of you watching on YouTube, scroll down below. You will find the link to Pose Magic Theater and the donation link for Doctors Without Borders. It's a wonderful cause to be donating to right now. There's so many things to donate to right now. That's a wonderful one. I'm so glad Vince is doing this. And after you've donated to them, if you have a couple extra bucks, make sure to donate to Pose Magic Theater, because they're a small business trying to keep art and commerce alive, trying to do these wonderful projects that we all get to have fun and benefit from, have a little respite from all the craziness of the world. And after that, if you still have a couple more bucks, donate to the performers that you're seeing tonight, including myself. You'll find my PayPal link down in the YouTube description. Any of the money that I get from this show this weekend, I will actually be donating to People's Breakfast of Oakland, which is an organization that helps to get food and water and clothing to the homeless and people in need in Oakland. And right now they're doing a bail fund for all the protesting. So thank you very much, Vince, and see you all soon, I hope.
Thank you so much, Christian. That was awesome. So I'm actually practicing my ventriloquism as well. As you can see, my mouth is not moving. Everyone, please tune in near the end at the end of the hour for our next guest, Christian. That was absolutely amazing. I cannot talk to you how much I love spooky magic. I love what you do. This the key there That was wonderful. So everyone, please tune in for our next guest at 5 o'clock. Paul Draper. All right? Don't forget. Don't be late. And thank you for tuning in to Post Magic Theater. Don't forget to donate. All right, there's a link. There's links below to donate to all the causes you've heard about today. Please continue to donate and help out. Thank you so much, everyone. Talk to you soon.
takes being bumped, which is that reduces the pressure wave to 10 psi or lower.